always talking about all the things that I love about copywriting, all the reasons it makes for an incredible service, an incredible entry level business model for people trying to become entrepreneurs. Well, today we're flipping the script and I'm going to tell you 10 things that I hate, absolutely hate about copywriting. Let's dive in. This video is sponsored by Copy AI, a toolkit that helps writers, marketers, and freelancers skip writer's block, brainstorm ideas, and quickly create first draft copy for themselves and their clients. Head on over to copy.ai/Jacob to get a free account and try out the value proposition tool, which I personally developed with the Copy AI team and use on a weekly basis. 10 things I hate about copywriting, starting with number one. It hurts my head. And that is not a figure of speech. When I sit down to write copy, even 10 years into doing this business, the first draft, the first things that come to mind are not that good. Contrary to what you may hear from other copywriters with varying levels of experience, I don't just sit down and stream of consciousness 1,000 words of pure gold. I don't just pull 7-figure copywriting out of my ass like a golden goose. Instead, I sit down and I write and I rewrite and I delete and I write again and I figuratively bang my head against a brick wall until I push through and come up with stuff that doesn't suck. And it physically hurts. Not all the time, but enough of the time that it is an ongoing source of discomfort. Writing great copy, for me at least, actually physically hurts my head. And that's just number one. Okay. Number two, copywriting is way too much of a guessing game. You've probably heard me talk about data a fair bit and using data to improve your copywriting. You've also probably heard from other people who ignore data altogether and just act like they produce high performing copy on demand. And from both ends of the spectrum, you might get this impression that copywriting is a very straightforward, black and white process that you either do it right or you do it wrong. And that's completely bullshit. Copywriting is always a best guess initially, and then you use data to inform you in improving it and evaluating how good you did on the initial try. But the first iteration, the first draft, is always a guess. And the vast majority of clients that you will work for over the course of your career don't even test the first draft, which means there is no data to pull from in the entire equation. You write the copy, they look at it and say, or and that's it. No data, no way of evaluating whether this actually performed. And to be honest, even if you get into that, 10 to 20% of the field that's actually tracking, actually taking data seriously, you'll find even there that there's so many variables that can go into any of the campaigns that you're working on that you'll almost never have a black and white understanding of how your copy performs specifically. There's almost always going to be other variables at play influencing the ultimate performance of the campaign. This absolutely sucks. I would so much rather be able to have a crystal clear black and white view of how anything I write performs. It would be so much easier to get better and improve over time. And it would just be a lot easier to say, hey, I am this good, or hey, I need to improve this much to reach X level. Moving on to the third thing that I hate about copywriting, everybody's talking about it now. I feel like I can't go anywhere online without seeing people giving their hot takes on copywriting, the vast majority of which are stupid. This has been especially true lately with a lot of the go-to guru business models starting to implode. People kind of finally catching on that drop shipping is almost never going to make you a lot of money, that Facebook advertising isn't a guaranteed win anymore, that you actually kind of need some capital to start making money in real estate. More and more of the guru circles have started to zero in on copywriting as their go-to moneymaker. Who am I to judge? But this is my rant video, so that's another thing that I hate about copywriting. Moving on to number 4, and a semi-ironic departure from the rant that everybody talks about it, we get to the reality that nobody knows what it is. When we step outside the marketing and make money online circles, nobody knows what copywriting is. I have been doing this for 10 years and my friends and family still don't have a clue what this line of work is. No matter how many times I explain it, no matter how many times I tell them what the word copywriting means, I give up. The fifth thing that I hate about copywriting is that in addition to all the wonderful, amazing, hardworking, ambitious people that it attracts a subset of people that I do not vibe with at all. These are the type of people who are drawn to the lifestyle brands showing off hot rods and objectifying women and playing to the alpha male crowd. And while thank God my brand doesn't tend to attract a lot of people in this category, they still manage to trickle in. And the more I collaborate with other brands in the copywriting space, the more this subset of individual ends up showing up in my inbox. These are the type of people looking to get rich quick. They are not interested in building a business. They are not interested in providing real value to their clients. They are not interested in doing the hard work to become a better person across the board. They are looking for shortcuts, ways to exploit those around them. And as a result, they will spend the rest of their lives getting exploited themselves. Don't be those people. Moving on to the sixth thing that I hate about copywriting. Not only is it attracting a subset of cringy individuals to my brand, but it is constantly trying to make me cringier myself. Now, I'm going to be honest with you. I'm a little bit okay with this because I think adulthood is a constant fight to get back to the complete lack of self-consciousness that comes with childhood, a journey to try to be our true selves and have fun with life and be a bit cringy. And the more I can tap into that, the better. But I'm not talking about that kind of cringy. That's the type of cringy that comes with actually trying to have some fun with a YouTube video and not pulling it off. The cringy I'm talking about is the constant pull to water down your content, to try to appeal to the lowest common denominator, to post the cringe that you see on LinkedIn and Twitter and Facebook on a daily basis with thousands of likes and upvotes and retweets and shares. This stuff from people with their head so far up their own ass that there is no hope of pulling it out. When you understand how this content works and what it's accomplishing, there is a constant pull to play that game. It's a constant tug of war between profit and self-respect. And I am not narcissistic enough to believe that I will always win that battle, but I'm trying. And in a similar vein, the seventh thing that I hate about copywriting is that it's so powerful, it's a bit scary. There's moments you have when you're writing copy where you know if I say this, it will cause real human beings to do this. Where you know that if I make this statement, if I tug on this emotion, if I bring up this specific analogy or scenario, this is going to have a marked emotional impact on real people reading this copy. And it might influence them to take actions that they otherwise would not take. I don't know about you, but that's terrifying. I'm not the one who's going to have to live with the choices that people make. They're the ones who have to live with them. I don't want responsibility over their lives. I don't even want responsibility for my own life. There are a lot of people that just don't give a shit, but they're psychopaths. I am way too empathetic to be a copywriter, and yet here I am, and I hate it. And of course, now that I said that, I need to say the exact opposite by going to the eighth thing that I hate about copywriting, which is that it's not nearly as effective as I want it to be. Copywriting is insanely powerful when you're trying to convince people to do what they already want to do. But beyond that, it's essentially impotent. The whole idea that you can sell ice to an Eskimo or convince people to buy things they don't want because of your magic persuasive copywriting is complete bullshit. People don't buy things they don't want. It's really as simple as that. They buy things that they want. You can push desire into action. You can generate desire by bringing awareness for something that they didn't even know about. And now that they see it, they want it. But you are never going to persuade someone into wanting something they do not want. And that kind of sucks because I wish I could do that. I wish I could just make people want stuff that they don't want. That'd be kind of cool. You know, especially if we're talking about little stuff, things that's not going to hurt them, things that's not going to impact their life, just little stuff. Like, who wouldn't want the power to just make someone buy any $50 product that they want them to buy? And if you haven't caught on by now, if someone could actually convince anyone to buy anything, why would they ever need to sell their services? They wouldn't. The ninth thing that I hate about copywriting is that it's so lucrative and it's so high in demand, and people want to throw so much money at me to write their copy that it tempts me in less profitable directions. It tempts me into losing money by spending less time building my own businesses and my own products and selling my own shit because the immediate cash flow is always so appealing. I came into 2022 dead set on solely working on my own stuff this year. And within 1 month, I was already fielding multiple interviews from people who wanted to throw me six-figure contracts for the year, stuff that would drastically reduce the time I could spend on my own shit. And it's a constant temptation. It's a constant battle. It was really great the first, 8 years. But now that I'm trying to build more scalable things, it's this constant source of frustration that it's so hard to reject immediate money when I can work on things that I know will be more profitable in the long term. I hate it. I hate my weakness to say no to it. I have so far, but it's tough. It's really tough. And finally, number 10, most of all, I hate that I don't hate it at all.
But mostly I hate the way I don't hate you. Not even close. Not even a little bit. Not even at all.
That's all I got for you. Hope you enjoyed this video. Like, subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next episode.